Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to That's What Teens Say. Please welcome your host for this afternoon, Ms. Marin Thompson.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Marin Thompson. So a little bit about myself. I did this exact same weekend about 3 years ago. And, I was just kind of thrown into it a little bit. And when I got there, Carrie and Jeanette told me, on Sunday, you're going to be speaking on a stage. And I was like, okay, a little bit scared. So I totally feel for these girls. It is really hard to do, but I'm so proud of them. They did amazing. So nonetheless, I had an amazing time that weekend. I met so many new people and had an amazing time. And so when I was given the opportunity to intern for the She Said project and even start a summer internship this past summer, I obviously had to take it because these women are absolutely amazing. The confidence that they bring these teens and the women in our community and surrounding communities is insane. And I am just so incredibly proud, and I know they are too, of these girls, the stories they wrote, and that they are going to share with you guys today. They are absolutely amazing. So instead of just talking about these women, allow me to actually introduce the That's What Teens Said, or the That's What She Said team. So Carrie Rosso, of course, our co-founder, Emily Renee White, our program coordinator, Taylor Clay, our That's What She Said accessibility advisor, Danielle Martirana, our That's What She Said Bloomington partner, and of course, Jeanette Jerzik, our national director.
Thank you, Marin. Thank you all for coming today to support these teens. They've been working really hard since Friday night. They came together not knowing what to expect. Like Marin, they got thrown in to a lot of awkward, maybe uncomfortable challenges to get outside their comfort zone and build some confidence so that they could come out here and perform for you all today. I need to take a moment to thank everyone who made this weekend possible. We have some really great sponsors who support our program. First, Rock Counseling Group. Not only have they been an amazing supporter, but they actually send someone out here to talk to the teens while we're working with them about the importance of self-care and mental health. We also want to thank Leaders for Life Martial Arts in Southwest Champaign. We had an amazing guest speaker from Leaders for Life yesterday talking to the girls about confidence and self-defense. And we want to thank First Federal Bank, who supported us for the first time this fall. So the girls are right backstage, ready to come out here, ready to amaze you all. But see, here's the thing. When you come to a theater production like this, usually you wait till the end of the show to stand up and applaud and give your standing ovation and your big cheer. But they've been working so hard all weekend long. This show is just the icing on the cake. So here's what I need you guys to do. When they come out here, I need you on your feet, if possible, and cheering in your loudest voice, if you're comfortable, and really give them your love and support because they deserved it, they worked for it. But I'm gonna let Marin do the honors, so here we go.
Okay, enough of the chit chat. Time for you guys to finally see. Please welcome to the stage our That's What Teen Said speakers. Woo! Yeah.
I'm doing a poem and a story. I used to dream about butterflies and cotton candy skies while dancing on the sunrise. And I used to wake up in the morning to colors brighter than my wonder-filled brain could process. I used to dream about catching stars. But every teenager has that really hard smack from reality at some point. And for some, it comes at graduation. For others, it comes in their first late-night drive in the car they just got the keys to. For me, it came during a late-night insomnia attack about 3 nights before my first day of high school. Delilah, you're 14. We don't have time to dream about butterflies and cotton candy skies while we dance on the sunrise. And we no longer see the world's vibrant colors now that our brain has processed and drained them. Delilah, you're 14. You're not allowed to dream about impossible things such as catching stars. I panic, sweat, and shiver. I cry. It's time to take that really hard smack from reality and swallow my teenage innocence with it. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Okay, but who actually cares, right? Because nobody really cares if you're ready for life because life's ready for you, kid, and you're too old to be dreaming about butterflies and cotton candy skies, but you're too young to know anything else. My teenage innocence fades and fades and fades as I desperately lose myself trying to catch the stars I've already lost. I was born Thursday, February 15, 2007. There was a blizzard that day. I guess it makes sense why my whole life I've been digging myself up from under 15 years worth of snow. Since then, I've caught 3 stars and lost 1. Sometimes I miss my childhood star, but then I remember proudly seeing it shoot across my sky to create a supernova into the next chapter of my life. I was bullied from 6th to 7th grade by not only students, but teachers as well. And I took it. I took it because that's what I thought I could do to be the most convenient to everyone, until I asked my dad, well, why can't he get in trouble too? He can. My first star, strength. Over the course of a few weeks, I started replying to this kid's remarks until he eventually shut up. Now I'm loud and I have a strong opinion that no one really wants to hear, but eventually always hears it. Almost 3 years ago, I had half my hair cut off due to split ends. And since then, I've grown so much interest and love for my hair and the possibilities of what it could do. I never really noticed how quickly my dad wanted to put it away, though, how quickly he wanted it to become convenient. So I asked him about it one day. I said, Dad, do you like my hair? Well, no, not out. My second star, self-validation. So I decided that in my junior year, I'm gonna go natural to give myself a chance to validate the love I have for my hair and my roots, no matter if other people like the choice or not. By 5th grade, I was at a 7th grade reading level, and I would have been a senior if I took both chances I had to skip grades, but everything happens for a reason, huh? People never really liked how smart I was, though. My granny always told me I knew too much for my own good or that I was too smart, whatever that means. For a while, I even started acting how I thought the girls my age did. Ignore my teachers, didn't do my schoolwork, talk back, whatever. I couldn't, though. I love school, and I love learning and trying new things, and good kids get incentives. My third star, knowledge. I've always heard that knowledge is power, so I guess it makes sense why I've always had the power to do what I saw fit when it came to my education. Why I always had the power to dig myself out of sticky situations and really bad messes, especially blizzards. Poetry is one of the many shovels I use to dig myself out. It's part of me, my world, and my story.
My name is Andrea de la Luz Morales Arias. It is a very long name, but a special name. You may be questioning what makes my name so special. For starters, I have 2 first names, which is a family tradition, and I have 2 last names. Yes, you heard that right. I have 2 first names and 2 last names with no middle name. The Andrea de la Luz part of my name in English says Andrea of the Light, and the Luz part comes from my grandma. That alone is pretty cool and unique in my opinion. My last name is Morales Arias. Morales comes from my dad, and Arias comes from my mom. Fun fact, if you look in your palm, you would see lines created in an M. I always thought each person had their last name initial in their palm. And for the longest, that is what made me feel like my name was so powerful and that it held meaning. The journey of finding the meaning of my name truly began this past summer. I was given the greatest opportunity to meet my dad's family, and for many immigrants, visiting the place where they came from is not a reality. When my dad first asked me if I was going to go with them to Mexico for 3 weeks, I remember feeling scared. I was scared that my family wouldn't welcome me, but to my surprise, it had been the first time I felt at home. When we arrived at my dad's hometown, he was showing me around, where he went to school, where he would hang out with his friends, and where the church was at. Then finally, we made it to his godmother's house. I immediately felt my heart stop. I began to get eager to see who I was about to meet, and as soon as I stepped out of the van, I was welcomed with love and open arms. An immediate connection was created as if my heart had been here before. It was surprising that they knew so much about me, but how little I knew about them. One specific memory I remember while being in Mexico is a walk I took with Tia Carmen through her garden. I remember holding her hand, feeling loved in a way I had never felt before. Her voice was very soothing to my soul. And even though I had never met her before, I knew I was at home. A way my family builds a connection is through food. We take time to cook meals together, putting love into the food we make. And if you were to ask me, I think my mom and dad make some of the best meals I've ever had. Ever since I was a kid, I loved hearing the stories my parents would tell about their childhood and about what it was like to live in Mexico, getting to learn about who they are. But now that I was with the actual people that saw my dad growing up and was in the town where he grew up, that was where I would begin to dig deeper into the history of my family. It wasn't just the stories and pictures that led to me understanding what my family was like. It was through emotions that carried through, the actions that were made, the laughs that filled the area, and the warm hugs. Those things made me understand what it meant to be a Morales. I have never seen a family bond this way, so diverse and so unique, yet so alike. One thing that I admire the most in my family is our work ethic. They taught me at a young age that if you want something, you must work for it, and that it will not be handed to you. Having immigrant parents is something that changes the way you view life in a way you would never think of, but I wouldn't trade my family's origins for anything else. Being able to visit family I never thought I would be able to taught me a lot about what my family is like. Not only that, but it showed me the meaning and power behind holding that last name. This was just the beginning of finding out who I am. But no matter what, I will always be Andrea de la Luz Morales Arias.
When I was about 5, I had a big accident. It was wintertime and very cold outside. I was coming home, and after walking into the door, my grandmother asked me, "Do you want help taking off your coat?" I told her something along the lines of no. This was probably because, as a kid, I wanted to be independent, which is understandable considering the fact that most kids do. Except on this occasion, my moment of independence backfired. My first mistake was not realizing that the floor had recently been mopped and was slippery. As I went to take off my coat, I fell, but it was not the normal fall and bump on the head or scrape on the knee. As I fell, my chin hit a table, which was partially glass. This is how I busted my chin open, which led to me going to the hospital. I recall lots of blood, being in pain, and my grandmother having to help the doctors calm me down. The next thing I knew, I had gotten stitches. To this day, I have a scar on my chin. This experience taught me how to accept help from others. A person who has built on this same lesson and proven it to be true is one of my math teachers, Mrs. Lehman. After just the first day of school, I knew I was going to learn a lot from her example. She would take the time to explain equations and different problems until the class fully understood them, but she did one thing that other teachers had yet to do in my personal experience. She applied that support and care to our personal lives as well, whether it be listening and talking to us, helping us find solutions, or being more compassionate as a teacher. As I grew older, her influence stayed with me. She not only inspired me to accept help from others, but she demonstrated how I wanted to treat others in my life. My grandparents and my God family. They always went out of their way to include me and make sure I felt a sense of trust and comfort. They would invite me every summer to come and stay with them. Through these summers, I made some of the deepest bonds and most important memories in my childhood. From these experiences, I learned that it's okay to be independent, but also it's okay to trust other people. The impact these people have had in my life makes me choose to be supportive and encouraging to those I meet. I promise to work on being more open, show my support, and be there for those that I love and care for. And when life gets in the way, and sometimes I forget, I always have this scar to remind me.
My life started in an incubator at Champaign's hospital with my parents not knowing if I'm going to be okay. Spoiler alert, I'm here. You can see me today. But it didn't stop me from knowing I had struggles along the way. At a very young age, my mom noticed my weird behavior. For example, instead of playing with Barbie dolls or other toys like other kids, I would play with a fork and spoon. In second grade, my mom finally took me to the doctor, and I was finally diagnosed with autism. There are ups and downs of having autism. As a kid, I went to many therapists and doctors. I was put on a lot of medication. I was in a neurotypical classroom. That was kind of hard for me. I would be bullied or misunderstood for my outbursts. I would have a lot of fits at school. My mom would come and get me from school and take me home. In fourth grade, my mom decided to move from the big city of Chicago to the small little town called Fairbury, Illinois, which is where my grandparents live. I started attending a school in Chenoa. Then I transferred from that school all the way into Forest, Illinois. In fifth grade, we moved from the big city into the big city, Bloomington Normal. During my middle school years, I attended Evans Junior High School. At Evans, they had a program for kids with disabilities and special needs. Every time I moved, yes, it was overwhelming, but it felt like I had a new opportunity to be a whole new person, hide who I am, and not be bullied. Now that sounds really nice as someone's outside perspective, but for those 3 years, it was not the way Hollywood made it seem. At Evans, many of my teachers told me that my goals were not possible. That is when the bullying became worse. In my PE class, a boy had asked me if autism was a disease. I told him no, but he convinced everyone in my sixth grade that it was a disease. They thought they could catch the autism. I talked to my teachers, and I was told, just ignore it. In the middle of my sixth grade year, a girl was dared to put sriracha ketchup in my hair for $20. I could still feel the wet ketchup in my hair. I felt violated. I could still hear people laughing at me. I felt humiliated. I told my teacher, and you're not going to believe what she told me. I was told, again, just ignore it. I think we can all agree in here that we just hate hearing just ignore it. At a young age, I was taught to trust my teachers. This started making me question if I trust my own teachers to be my advocate. I started knowing this during my 8th grade IEP and that my teachers treated me differently. I felt like I was being treated like I was stupid. My aide, Mrs. P, was helping me write a history letter to the United States saying, "We out Britain." I gave her my ideas and she would write them down, but she would, let me repeat that. I gave her my ideas, she would turn them down and then change them. By the time the letter was done, it became hers. This made me feel like I was unimportant, that my words didn't matter. But through that time, my mom would tell me to use their words in judgment as a way to fuel my fire. I'm here to tell you and to remind myself that yes, I am here and yes, it is possible. Yes, I have autism, but I have overcome a lot of things and many more that I could not fit while writing this. I learned not to just be told, just ignore it. I want to choose the way I want to live. I want to go to college. I want to earn a degree. I want to be a teacher in New York, or even be an administrator at my church, Eastview. There are so many possibilities for the way that my life could be, and it will be the way I choose it.
Who am I? I am a young black African-American woman who is out here still trying to figure out who I am and to be my own person. All three of my brothers have had a positive influence on my life. My brother Malik has taught me to be my own person and not care what other people think of me. Dondre has taught me to chase after my dreams and to be confident. Lastly, Cora has taught me how to be resourceful and make most of what you have. With these lessons, I have learned from them. I am grateful to have these role models and great support systems in my life. But here's my struggle. I feel confident walking into school in the morning and when I'm spending time with my family and friends. But if I am asked to express my feelings or to talk to a person one-on-one, I feel awkward and just want to teleport back into my comfort zone. I have always wanted to be more confident when it comes to looking people in the eye, speaking up, and not feeling like I'm being judged. How is it possible that I feel so confident walking into school and socializing with people I feel safe with, but struggling to be authentically confident in other situations? Sometimes when my confidence level is low, I will put on a little front and act like I'm happy to be there, but I'm not. I am learning so much about myself. I am starting to learn who I am and what makes me, me. Even though I question myself and wonder how can I feel one way and be another, I've learned that is a part of being me. Discovering who I am feels like a headache, but I am worthy of the process. The confident Mariah walks into school in the morning wearing what makes me feel comfortable and not caring what other people think about my style. Things are safe, it feels familiar, I know where I'm going, and it's a daily routine. My presence holds power when I am confident. I love that part of me. I'm going to push myself to do things that scare me. My mom wants everyone to see me and the confident me in every situation. So do I. And that's why I participated in That's What Teens Say. This was very hard for me. Writing my story was difficult. The thought of saying my story out loud made me feel little and incapable. But my story is worthy of being heard. All of my story, the confident, the not so confident, and everything in between.
On the beat. 30 hertz straight up.
You're so bad for me, really, really bad for me. I don't wanna eat, I don't even wanna sleep. Just wanna talk to you, do everything with you. You're so bad for me, really, really bad for me. This is a song I wrote when I was at my lowest point. When I felt like the world was against me, when I felt like there was nobody there for me, I started believing what people were saying to me, and I allowed other people's opinions to define me.
On the beat. 30 hertz straight up.
Until recently, I started to remember what my grandma used to say before she passed away. She used to tell me that not everybody's gonna like you, not everybody's gonna think you're pretty enough or smart enough. But don't let their words get to you. Show them who you are. Show them you're more capable than they know and that you're brighter than a shining star. I'm not gonna apologize for being me. I'm not gonna apologize to you because you think I'm weird, that you don't like me, that you don't think I'm funny or smart or feminine enough by your standards. No, I don't look like a model or like the girls on TV. And no, I'm not as smart as Ruth Bader Ginsburg or Michelle Obama. No, I don't sing like her or Beyonce. I'm not those people, but I'm making my own path. Clearly, I must be something special because society's trying to bring me down. Let me tell you who I am. I am Camille. I am black. I am beautiful. I am energetic. I am unbothered by other people's opinions. I'm not Beyonce, but that's what makes me original. I don't need to be compared to others. I'm happy just being me. You're so bad for me, really, really bad for me. I don't wanna eat, I don't even wanna sleep. Just wanna talk to you.
do everything with you. You're so bad for me, really, really bad for me. Loving you's like a losing game, I can't win. Loving you's like a hurricane, makes my head spin. It's crazy that I thought you could change, but I'm still waiting. Yours do the same.